A warning by the World Health Organization tonight of the threat posed by the Omicron COVID-19 variant. The WHO says that the new strain presents a very high global risk and is urging the world to speed up vaccinations of high priority groups. Britain has called for an urgent meeting of G7 health ministers. Live to Ollie Barrett in just a moment, but first, a look at where matters stand.
From South Africa to Europe and Asia, the Omicron variant is spreading quickly across borders. The World Health Organization has warned it could cause a further surges of COVID-19 with severe consequences in some areas. Countries are being urged to ramp up vaccinations to protect high-risk groups and healthcare systems. Scientists are racing to find answers about the strain, whether it's deadlier or more evasive to vaccines. Some health experts believe existing vaccines will remain effective, even as others say it's too early to tell.
Looking at the mildness of the symptoms that we are seeing, currently there's no reason for panicking as we don't see severely ill patients.
Still, more travel doors are slamming shut as governments err on the side of caution. Japan is barring all foreigners from entry and imposing stricter quarantine requirements on citizens returning from high-risk countries. The Philippines has also suspended a travel scheme for fully vaccinated tourists next month. Australia has hit the brakes on a planned easing of border curbs for international students and other visa holders. More countries are also imposing travel bans on South Africa and its neighbours, where Omicron was first detected. The South African government has denounced the move, but America's top infectious disease expert says it's only reasonable.
It's to give you time to do things. So don't let this decision that was made about blocking the travel from certain countries go without a positive effect. And the positive effect is to get us better prepared, to rev up on the vaccination, to be really ready for something that may not actually be a big deal, but we want to make sure that we're prepared for the worst, and that's what we should be doing.
Dr. Fauci estimates it will take about 2 weeks to get definitive information about Omicron.
Ollie Barrett joins us live now from London for more. Ollie, the UK, other European countries, they've already started reimposing restrictions on their borders. What further steps could G7 leaders take?
Well, I think part of it will be about information sharing. Scientists around the world scrabbling to get as much information as they possibly can about Omicron. And given the number of countries now saying that they are discovering cases of the new variant, that will allow scientists to start studying data, real world data as well, the effects that this new variant is having on patients. And so clearly information sharing is going to be possible. I'm sure there will be discussions about travel and whether or not further restrictions on international movements of people from different parts of the world should or should not be imposed. Vaccination, I think, will be high up on the agenda as well. The UK, for example, has been criticised for rolling out rapidly booster doses in this country, while there are large chunks of populations in developing countries that still haven't had a first or a second jab. So there is a lot to talk about, but G7 countries are hamstrung at the moment by the fact that there is simply a huge amount they don't yet know about the Omicron variant.
At the same time, Ollie, Britain's had just a handful of these Omicron cases, but it's going to take further action to prevent the spread of this new variant.
That's right. We expect to hear today from the independent committee that advises the government that it wants to extend a booster jab to everyone who is over the age of 18 in this country. They also, we expect, will say that the window between your second jab and your third booster can be narrowed to try and get as much protection into as many people's arms as possible in the coming weeks and months. We're also seeing tighter testing requirements for international arrivals. Everyone now has to take a PCR test when they come into the United Kingdom, and some toughening on wearing of masks and face coverings too. In schools, in communal areas, secondary school children are being told to wear a face covering. On public transport, that's going to be a much stricter rule, and one that we expect to be enforced a bit more stringently as well. The UK government at the moment saying that it doesn't intend to go down the Plan B route of even tougher restrictions beyond that, but it's very much a waiting game at the moment as people try and get as much information about the potential impact or otherwise of Omicron.
Ollie, thank you. Ollie Barrett in London.